You managing moderators can support your channel even more. Wow. Okay, well, I don't have moderators. I'm finally here. Sorry, guys. I said a few minutes and it turned into over 2 hours. Well, I should have known that because I am not good at editing videos. You know, I had an editor, I had to let it go, and then, it hasn't been great ever since, but we do what we can. And so, so we're gonna make biscotti, and I have class at 6, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to put them in the oven. I may have to let them cool and then cut them and put them out because it's like a two-step process. So let's see where we are, because I said that I was going, ooh, this one is not gonna last because my battery is not good. Okay. Let's see. I wonder if I can put it in here in this phone. Let's see. All right. I don't know what I did, y'all. I don't know what I did. All right. Where's Yvette? Hello. Just technical. Anyway, I said that I was going to do the biscotti. I was out doing an interview, and then I came back, and I was gonna go edit the video. And I thought, it was an interview. I didn't have a whole lot to edit. Well, I was wrong, because I got in there and 2 hours, it turned into 2 hours. Alrighty, my apologies, you guys. Listen, like I was talking to my sister, I said, life be lifing. So today I'm going to be making biscotti. I don't make good cookies for the holidays. This is something I don't know why when I make them, they either too hard or I don't know. And since I'm not supposed to be eating them anyway, so I do not worry about it. So we are doing our mise en place. I have Spanish class in about an hour and a half, so hopefully I will have the biscotti in the oven. And of course I can always stop. So now I have some cranberries. Definitely gonna have that. We need I have almendras, which is almonds, which we're gonna have. Hola, Kimberly. We're gonna have almendras. We'll toast them a little bit. I was able to find Ghirardelli chocolate bite, semi-sweet. I really was looking for the white ones, but the white ones are not real chocolate. But I've been snacking. Why not? I can. Now I also have some raisins, but I don't put raisins in the biscotti. I put pistachio. And pistachios are a bit expensive. These were like $1.75. So, but they're still with the shell. So while I'm talking to you, we're gonna take the shells off, and we're gonna use biscotti. I love oops, my fridge wide open. I love the biscotti. Tomorrow I'm having a meeting. Ooh, okay. So I usually gift them to my neighbor, my friends. So we'll see how much I come up with. Because when you make the biscotti, you have to make the dough, you bake it, smells heavenly. I do have the butter. I have 2 lemons. You should see how terrible those lemons look. They look pitiful. But I need the lemon zest. I have eggs. Yesterday I had delivery of some fresh eggs. Oh. Now pistachios, just like in the States, pretty expensive here. So when I find them, I'm happy because sometimes I have a hard time finding them. Now the holiday season starts here in Panama, and people are buying lots of ham. Ham is something I never could eat because it's too salty. So I never cooked ham at home because there's too much salt. And but I have cooked turkeys. You know, around the holidays I always think, let me ooh, that doesn't open like that. But you know, sometimes you go ahead and pay for the shelled one because shelling them sometimes can be a little bit difficult. So I found some gift bags, the plastic bags, and so when I gift them, I use plastic bags. I have some tissue paper, and then I bought one of these, you know, like when you're going to do a gift, and then you tie it, and then you do the crinkling kind of thing that you do with scissors. So I'm ready for that, but you know, I have this nail that it's been 2 years that I had like a split, and it's never been the same. Every time it grows and it splits again. All right, so I have some butter that's been sitting out here. I love the New Zealand butter. So I let it sit out here so it will cream faster. And I have my recipe here because, you know, with when you're baking, it's not like cooking and you can go ad lib. You have to kind of measure. So that's gonna be good. And now when you're making biscotti, you wanna have parchment paper. And I have parchment paper. So in the oven, I like this. And then I put the parchment paper, and I can maybe do two. If I do, I'm gonna do two, double the recipe, right? And you put the parchment paper, and then once you get the batter, you spread it. So if I were to cut it in half like this, then I can have biscottis double, right? And then I took my turkey pan. I'm gonna again saran wrap it, and then do another batch in here because you know, you can't ever have too many biscottis because I just put them in bags. Ooh, this smell. And then I give them to people. Sometimes I'll put them in gift bags. You know, like the people downstairs at the desk. It would be something different for them to try with coffee, right? Good afternoon, Deborah. Ow. Whew, I think I got it. Okay. I wash my hands, so no worries. You know, we wash our hands. Nurses, well, at least I wash my hands. I know we used to have doctors who used to carry stuff from one patient to another because they had really poor hand hygiene. And people used to hide behind using the hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer does not replace good hand washing with soap and water. I'm just shelling some pistachios here. So in the biscotti, you know, you can buy this stuff from the store. but I guarantee you it's not as good as mine. I mean, I'm not being conceited or anything, but I'm into homemade. I don't like store stuff. Like I also have some heavy cream left, and I have some buttermilk, Panamanian style buttermilk. And so I'm thinking I need to make some biscuits so maybe I can give them to my neighbors. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, let's do, just getting started. Now see, the pistachios and white chocolate, I mean, you can't have too much of that. And when you bite into that biscotti, when you make the biscotti, you make the batter, you cook it, you let it rest, cool a little bit, you slice it, and then you bake it again because you want to make sure it's nice and crispy. The danger is don't forget it and don't burn it, right? Because that would be so much labor and ingredients, right? To let it burn. So I have my video that I just finished. I was gonna do a video on safety, women being safe here in Panama. But I changed it because it was gonna take me less time to do the interview, the editing with the interview I did with Debbie. She's the lady who moved here with her 97-year-old mother. So I got to interview the little lady again. She's gonna be 98 in May, and I interviewed her at the end of the video. So if you get a chance, make sure you watch that. She's just so cute. She's amazing. You know, it makes you think about, you as you get old. What does that mean for you? Miss Doris had her nails done. And she said, I like it. It's my favorite color. Oh my goodness. So cute. I love that. I love talking, even when I was younger, I love talking with old people who are engaged and, they're not old in mentality. And that's what you don't want. All right, we're going to get there. I meant to do that before I got on the live, but because I was so late, I was like, ooh, my goodness. And I even forgot to send my students their notes, so I had to do that. But I put the video, my videos are to members first. So if you're a member like Deborah, you get to see the video before the rest of the populace, okay? So you can kind of get a glance, and if you want to watch it again, you can watch it again. Remember, I'm chasing that viral video right now. Today is 17, so I have less than 2 weeks. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but you know what? You just never know. It's not done until the fat lady sings. Oh, almost. And the shell is always so hard. Sometimes I beat it a little bit, so it's not so big and chunky inside the biscotti. Well, biscotti, you just, with coffee and tea, oh my gosh, that's the best thing. So I'm gonna do a few videos also about what Panamanians eat for the holidays. It's gonna be on their table. I have the rum punche. I guess I'm gonna have to try it. Got eggnog, it's got eggs in it, and I don't usually do that, but the things I do for you guys, I'm gonna try it. I tried shishame, and I liked the last one I tried. So That's why I don't dismiss the pig feet. Maybe one of these days I will try it. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Yeah. Any more? So this here was about $6 worth. It's not bad because in the States I used to buy the bag for like over $10. So if you get a bag of shell pistachios, it's gonna be pricey, you know that, right? Alright, now the other thing I don't like around the holidays, I don't like the pecan pie. It's just way too sweet. Too sweet. I make an apple pie or an apple crumble, and that's good because it's fresh apples and I don't put that much sugar in it. Make sure you shell every single one of them so you don't you bite into a shell. All right. All right. So, got my recipe here. Let's put those. These were not open. This one's open. This one's not. And I am not going to break a tooth. Alrighty then. Oh, my nails. So, I am going to, I don't have a glass bowl, so we're gonna use this, but when I am beating the eggs, I will do it over there because that's where my outlet is. This house, this kitchen, it's the weirdest layout. It's got very, very few outlets. I don't know. I want someone to explain that to me. No entiendo. All right, so we're gonna start. Remember, we're doubling the recipe. So now we're gonna line our pans with the parchment paper. All right. And I have not bought pan spray here. It's expensive. All right. So we have that. So we're gonna mix the dry ingredients. Maybe. Well, I don't have a glass bowl, but I have this, so we can use this. I usually use this for my my salads, and it does a pretty good job with my salads. All right, so Whisk the flour and baking powder in a medium bowl. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, we're doubling it. So we're gonna put 4 cups of flour in here. Baking powder, and we have our measuring cups here. So 4 cups of baking powder, not bread flour, not baking powder, all-purpose flour. You know, sometimes you see them, the bakers do the fancy. I'm not that fancy. And some people sift their flours. And I've been trying for them to tell me what is the significance. Because remember, I'm not a baker, so they probably feel insulted when I ask this question. Because I'm a cook. I'm not a baker. All right, I think we got 4 cups. And I'm gonna get my whisk. Okay. Where is my whisk? There it is. This is the best whisk I've had, and I've had this since I was in culinary school. All right, so you want to mix, make sure you don't have any lumps. Love my whisk. See. All right, then we put the baking powder. 1.5 teaspoon baking powder, so double, that would be 3 teaspoons. And we have now a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. So 3 of these of the baking powder. Now this one, I like to do that. 1, 2, because you really don't want the biscotti to puff up. That's not the idea, right? Okay. Have you had biscotti? Have you had it? It's the Italian cookie. All right, and then why don't they put the sugar in here? We're gonna beat the eggs with the sugar. That's usually what you do. All right, so we're gonna leave this here. Now, let's see. I'll beat in here instead of my tea bowl here, because then I'd have to transfer it to here, and that's too much trouble. Okay, so 2 large eggs. So we're gonna do 4 eggs. 4 huevos. Huevos is eggs. And I have everything out because you do better when you're baking with eggs at room temperature. And in Panama, we do not refrigerate eggs. Don't ask me why. Eggs are on the shelf just like milk. All right? So 4 eggs. You're gonna beat the eggs. With the sugar. Using an electric mixer, beat the sugar. How much sugar? 3/4 cup sugar. Multiply that by 2. That's, is it 1.5? 0.75, 1.5. So 1.5 cup of sugar. I can measure that. So we're gonna put that on the side. And the sugar in Panama comes like this, in this plastic bag. I heard that it's difficult to bake with Panamanian butter because it had a higher water content. I don't buy Panamanian butter, I don't like it. So I buy New Zealand butter. I pay for it, but that's what I buy. You know what else is different? Mayonnaise. It says Hellmann's, but it doesn't taste like Hellmann's to me. I don't eat mayonnaise. What was I doing? There was one dish I needed mayonnaise. It says Hellmann's, and I'm like, that does not taste like Hellmann's mayonnaise. Now, granted, Hellmann's probably has all kinds of stuff that are bad for you, right? And then I could make my own mayo. Mayo, you beat some egg yolk and you trickle some oil and you get mayonnaise, okay? So that's all it is. But I don't need all that egg yolk. Totally off topic, but you have the pretty... Girl, listen. Me and this lady, we found this store called El Campeon. I think these were like $3. Gracias. I turned the AC off, but maybe now I need it. All right, let's open this and do 1.5 cups of 1.5 cup of sugar. You always beat the sugar with the eggs to cream it. All right. Okay. Media, that's 1/2 cup. Enough. Ooh. A little bit less because I lost a little bit there, so that should do it, right? And what I'm gonna do is put that in the fridge because these little teeny little ants have been busy, and I don't want any of that. I'm gonna turn my AC on. All right, that is that. What else goes in there? Oh, butter. Oh, we have to beat all that together. Ooh, okay. And the butter, 1/2 cup, 1 stick of butter at room temperature. So now we're gonna do 2 sticks of butter. And we don't have sticks, so that means it's half of this, 1/2 pound. Right? It says cup, but I'm not measuring in cups because a pound of butter like that is 4 sticks. So if it wants 2 sticks, I'm just gonna cut it down the middle and put it in. Yeah. Oh bueno. All right. Ooh. My beautiful chef's knife. Listen, when I went home and I got my chef's knife, I felt like I had been reborn. You hear me? I struggle so much to find a knife that works here. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I hear so many people say the same thing. So I know it's not me. I was like, well, Maggie, maybe you're just weird. No. A lot of people say they have the hard time finding a good chef's knife. These are the kind of things people don't understand that you struggle with when you move abroad. And then you have to get used to not having the stuff that you used to, right? Room temperature butter is so... This is why you can't eat that stuff. Look how much butter. It's like you cannot eat like that. You know, the other day I ordered a pho from a Vietnamese restaurant, and the broth was so good. But they had like buy one, get one free. So I ate one, and then I left the other one. They had them in the plastic jar. And the next day, I could see the fat on top and the side. I was mortified. I was like, I ate that yesterday. This is so good, but it was so bad. I know, but the pho, the broth, they use a lot of beef, and they use oxtail, and be careful. So I was like, no, I can't eat that. And I had to get real vanilla. That imitation stuff, no bueno. All right, so we have eggs. You know what? I wasn't supposed to put the egg in there, but that's okay. I was supposed to add the eggs one at a time. Oops. Okay. So it's still gonna be good. We're gonna beat this one, and then we're gonna add the lemon zest and salt. So let's get cracking. Yeah, I told you I'm not a baker, but my biscotti still is good. Yes, if I had remembered, I would have known that you beat the sugar. If I remember, the sugar with the butter. That's what you do first. All right, Maggie. You're messing up online. But that's okay. You all love me, right? Okay. It's gonna be good, I promise. All right. Now, and then, because I only have one outlet here, 2 prongs, so I had to get a strip to be able to have the coffee maker and the microwave. And then I have to unplug one to use this. Isn't that crazy? You know, a fancy apartment, you know, no, on the wall, no outlets, none. I guess it's a good thing. Great. Yeah. Should I put the eggs last? Oh well. Kind of messed up, but it will be okay. All right, so now we're gonna add lemon zest and salt. Salt is 1/4 teaspoon, so half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, let's do it. Lemon zest. Now, I went to the store and looking for lemons. Lemons, it's a hit or miss sometimes. Because of course, in the Americas, they use lime a lot, not lemon. But these lemons look so beautiful. Look at that. And most of the time I can't find them. It says 1 teaspoon grated lemon zest. We're just gonna start grating. So, all right, so I'm just going to grate the lemon. It says half a teaspoon. But who's measuring that? Not me. But lemon zest is always a knockout when you're making a cookie. Oh, so good. 1 whole teaspoon. That means I have to grate more lemon. But when I make the saril, somebody asked me to do a live on that. I'm going to get oranges, real oranges, and then use the peel. I'm going to preheat my oven, okay? So it says 350, so we're going to have to see what everything is in centigrade right here. So I have to figure out, and I haven't been, you know, I know all the way up it's really hot, really high. You know, I don't know what 500 or 400 is. Okay, I think we're good. Lemon zest. Woo, beautiful. All right, I might need this for some nutmeg. All right, we're gonna mix, and then we're gonna add the flour towards the end. But the flour, we're gonna put in a little bit at a time. We don't want to overbeat the flour. It's one of those, it's like when you're making biscuits, you don't want to overwork the dough. It gets tough and then no bueno. So we have sugar, we have salt, we have lemon, and we have our flour mixture. Let's get this a little bit more. And I'm not tasting it, it's raw eggs. I don't do that. I like eggs cooked, but I don't like it mixed in things. That's what I don't like eggnog. No bueno. Alright. Now, I don't see them asking me to put vanilla. I am putting vanilla in this and nutmeg. I am. Trying not to overwork the dough. So I'm helping it a little bit because, you know, I don't have a food processor. So I have to improvise. It's good. So lemon zest. Yum. And the butter. All right. Remember, you want to mix it, but you don't want to overwork it. It's not a cake. It's a cookie. All right. That's good. Put those in the sink. Alrighty. So this is our dough. It's just mixed. It is not overworked. The consistency is perfect. All right. Now, like I said, I don't see anything in the recipe for vanilla, but I am adding some vanilla. What do you mean having anything with no vanilla? Not for me. Oh, also, where's my other grater? I had two. Two graters. Okay. I don't see my other grater, but I'm grating some nutmeg. Somebody brought me this so I can use it for garlic. Didn't work. No bueno. So I'm using it for, it works great for this. Mix it. And we're gonna add our pistachio. Oh, what we need to do probably is we need to toast a little bit of the almond. I don't like the almonds raw. So we're gonna put some of the almonds in here. Now what you also do with the biscotti is that when it's cool, you can make a chocolate sauce. You could melt some chocolate and then just kind of make like lines on it and then put it in the fridge overnight so the chocolate can, you know, solidify. And you know, stuff like that around the holidays are a little pricey, but almonds are good for you. I put it in my salad. Very good. So we're gonna put a little bit. I think that's enough. Gonna keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. But here I'm gonna put some chocolate pieces in here, not a lot. Maybe 1/3 of a cup. That's good. We're gonna put some of our cranberries in here. The pistachio. Pistachio looks kind of hard. Let's see if I could smash them a little bit. Oh, look at that. I was looking for those. So I have some. Oh. Ooh, that's a big one. So I'm just gonna smash the pistachios a little bit. They're just a little bit too rough. What do I have? Well, let's see. This is my my tostones, whatever you want to call that. They're not so, you know, the pieces are not so big. All right, I'll do it. Oh, it smells so good when you toast it a little bit, right? All right, pistachio. Ooh. Yes. Beautiful. So I'm leaving the rest for my other batch. Remember, I'm doing 2 batches. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm gonna pop this into the freezer just for a second, because I don't want all that heat to affect my batter. Whew. All right. Stay here just for a second. Let me put okay. I put the almonds in there for a second, you know, like 30 seconds. And then we're just gonna put that batter onto that sheet. sorry. Tina, no te puedo entender. Cannot answer you right now, Tina. Sorry. All right. This is hot. No bueno. All right. Woo. All right, that's good. It's a little bit less really hot. Woo. Wow. It looks beautiful. You see it? So you got all that good stuff in it. The lemon zest is just perfect. Good afternoon from Chicago. I am so sorry. Oh yeah, your chef's knife. Your knives, just bring your knives, okay? You're not gonna find good quality ones here. Nope. And I love lemon too. Okay. All right. So now, form the dough on the baking sheet. You're gonna make it into a log. But I am gonna try to make 2 logs. I'm gonna move my batter over here. I only moved it over there because that's where the electrical outlet was. You have got to work with what you have. Listen, the struggle is real. Okay? So, we got everything in here. It looks lovely. So I'm gonna have to find something to hold the edges in place. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the sheet. We're gonna drop it and we're gonna form what we want with it. So I want to make as many biscottis as I can with the batter that I have. So I have to form it. And I'm going to use my hand and the spatula. But when it's dry, it's cooked. When it's still warm, that's when I can cut it. All right. Whew, that's a mound. 2 recipes. All right. So sometimes you just make it into a log and then you cut it, but I'm trying to get 2 logs out of them. Okay? Because I doubled the recipe. So I'm gonna cut it lengthwise and then do the slices. Okay? So try to keep the thickness as close to, linear as possible, because you don't want to have thick one and then really thin ones, right? And then when this starts baking, your kitchen is gonna smell so amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna do slice it and then, so maybe I can get quite a few. So I will close the live and then, so this is gonna bake for about 20-30 minutes. When it's, little bit, cook in the middle, when you put the toothpick in there, then I'm going to do my slicing, and then I'm going to put it back in the oven. And then once it's nice and crispy, then that's when I put it to just cool off completely before I make the chocolate sauce to just put on it and then put it in the oven. In the fridge. We got a break today in New York. You got to 40s. Oh, that's good. Oh. Listen, you guys, this is one reason I could not ever go back to those states. When I moved to Florida, I was running from the cold, and then I said I would never go back. Now, the first year of winter without cold, not necessarily the snow, was very hard. It was like, oh my God, where am I? I feel like I was in the twilight zone. And then I went, and it snowed, and I came back and I said, okay, I'm good. Okay guys, it's going in the oven. I will come back after I've sliced them, but maybe I need to show you how I slice it really quickly and put it back in the oven. It's a double bake recipe. You always double bake your biscotti, okay? All right, here it goes. So 350 Celsius, let's say how many degrees, push button, I don't know what that is. .350 to centigrade is 176. So I am at 150, about 160, close. All right. All right, guys, I will come back. Ooh, it's almost 6 o'clock, probably later, because it's like 5:30 and I have my class at 6. All right. Thanks for hanging with me. And it's gonna be nice. Like in the morning, I will put the biscottis in the bag because they're gonna be gifts that I'm gonna give out to my ladies. All right? I'll see you later. Have a good evening. Go have dinner and relax. Don't think about this butter-laden stuff that I just cooked. I'm cooking. No bueno, it's not good for you, but I can give it away. All right? Bye. Thank you.